Hey, this is Rob again, and this short video is meant for my DPW 311 students at Seneca College, though it could be used by anyone who is interested in chopping up a document into multiple sections and using different footers or headers in those sections. So for my Seneca students, we have an exercise in the textbook that begins on page 659 that's a pretty good example of how this works. So what I've done for you first is to show you the document as it would be when it's finished. So this is the finished product, and I'm just going to quickly move my mouse pointer to the side there and scroll through it and let you have a look. You can see the text looks maybe a little bit darker and things, and that's because the style set has been changed. But the important part starts here, right down here at the bottom of page 1. Here we see a footer that says Section 1, Page 1. If we scroll a little bit further down, we're still in Section 1. Down to the next page, we're apparently in a new section, and there you go. That's reflected by saying Section 2, and again, Page 1. And interesting, as we keep scrolling through here, there's the new section, Section 3, but the page number here continues. And on we go, right down to the bottom. So I'm just going to home my cursor right now to go back to where that started. And when I come back, I'll open the original document and walk you through some of the key parts of it. Now, we all know how to do page breaks, but these are next section page breaks. So there are 2 required to make this thing get started. I'm on page 2. You can see the cursor flashing over there to the left. I'm going to go to page layout, breaks, and then we want the next page section break. You can already see it's pushed that a little bit further down. There's one more section break that's required. I'll let you do that one, and I'll continue in a moment. So in this example, I've now put in a couple of section breaks, next page section breaks, and I'm at the top of the document. And what the exercise wants me to do is start putting in footers and do a couple of special things when I do that. So I'm going to go ahead and put in the first footer. Remember, you go to the Insert menu, and we're going to go to Footer. And the one that gives us the most flexibility is down near the bottom of this pop-up, which is called Edit Footer. So we need to pay close attention to this little tab on the left that I'm pointing at. It always tells us which section we're in. Now the book wants us to turn on bold and do a little bit of typing, which I'll do shortly. After we do some typing, we're going to press Tab. We're going to go over to the right side of the page, because we're going to press Tab twice, and we're going to put in the page number by typing the word page, spacebar, and inserting the page number. So when I'm ready to insert the page number, I'll get back to you. So you can see my cursor flashing down there in the bottom right corner of the page, and what I need to do now is insert the page number. If I don't insert it, if I just typed 1, for example, all page numbers in the document would be 1. So I have to make sure I insert a code. So here I'm going over to the header and footer group, and I click page number. I want it at its current position because I'm working in a footer that has text, and I want to do a plain number. That's done. We're ready to go, and what the book wants us to do now is use some of the tools up on the ribbon to move to the next section, in each case to do new footers for new sections. So I'm just going to show you where that button is right there, the next, and that will jump to the next section of the document. Probably it'll say Footer Section 2. There we are in Footer Section 2. Now here's the important part. As long as this still says, as long as the button looks like it's popped in, linked to previous, you can see it there, it kind of looks like it's a gold button. As long as that's pressed in, what's going on here, and you can see that at the bottom of this page, Word is picking up or remembering information from the previous footer and bringing it into each new section. So really nothing's changing, is it? And we want to make a change because we're in a new section. So the first and most important thing we need to do is click Link to Previous to turn it off, and you can tell it's off. Once it's off, we can make changes to this footer, the Section 2 footer, in any way we want. And the book simply wants us to put a 2 in here. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now it wants us to go to the next section and do something similar with that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll get back to you after I've done it. Sometimes when you're working with multiple sections, you'll need to restart page numbering. Now you can see I'm in a new section of the document, Employee Performance section. If I quickly scroll down, the page numbers are just continuing. It says page 3 here, even though I'm in a new section. So we want to make a change to that. And you'll be asked to put your cursor anywhere in this text here, which really means to say anywhere in this section. For instance, down here or down here would be just as fine. Once we position the insertion point or the cursor, we're going to click Insert. We're going to go to Page Number in the header and footer group. Instead of putting a new page number in, we're just going to do a little formatting here. So I click this, which is Format Page Numbers. I go down to the bottom of this dialog box and I click Start At. As soon as I do, it goes back to 1, although I could type any value in this box I wanted. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK, and then we're going to scroll down and have a look. We're back at page 1 again in the new section. Now you've got me on this one. If you were watching carefully when you saw my original completed document, this compensation section, the page wasn't renumbered. Well, I guess I better do that right now. So once again, position your cursor somewhere in the section. Go to Insert on the ribbon. Go to Page Number, Format Page Numbers, and restart at 1. And I'm just going to click OK to lock that into place. Now the very last thing this exercise will want you to do is to change the style. And that's going to be done this time by changing the theme. So to change a document's theme, which you know applies to everything, click Page Layout, pop open your themes, and in this case we're going to Foundry. That's our new theme. Document's completed. You probably want to save it at this point. So thanks for listening. I hope this helps you understand how to work with multiple footers or headers.